Our second exceptional guest is Arjan, program architect, who is passionate about Salesforce, passionate supporting people working with Salesforce. He is supporting currently ladies in architect also. He is mentor and coach. He has 18 certifications, so he knows what he will be talking about. And he is a CTA. So with this introduction, as soon as I can
Wow.
stop sharing, it's yours, Arjan.
I'm starting to feel very tiny here. Thank you for such a great introduction. All right. Okay. So you should be able to see something that's called career development with Trailhead. Is that correct? All right.
Yep.
Good. All right. So I think not much more to say. One thing I'll add, if you'd like to connect on social media, feel free. But do me one favor. Please add a note. It's possible for everyone. You don't need any extra additional license in LinkedIn to actually be able to do that. The only thing you need to do is actually do that extra click. So go ahead, feel free, and connect on LinkedIn, but with a note, please. All right. So next to being all of what you just told the audience, I'm also what is called a Trailhead guide at the moment, which means I'm supporting our Trailhead team a bit in evangelizing what Trailhead is all about. And obviously, I think the vast majority of you must have spent hours on Trailhead already. So I'll try to highlight the stuff that I think is still relevant for you to know. So let's dive in. So one thing to keep in mind, I might be talking about something that is not there yet. Please, any buying decision that you make, right, you know the drill. All right. First of all, thank you. And thank you from me to you, but maybe also a thank you for yourself for spending time here tonight. I think taking time to actually think about and get extra knowledge in, spending time around developing your career and what tools are out there to actually support you in, just to make your professional life a bit better. I think you should be thanking yourself, because I think that will make your life as a professional easier and probably a bit more fun as well, right? So good that you're here, and thanks a lot for joining and taking the time to listen to me and Heather. All right, so I think we all know what happened, right? A lot of stuff happening and a lot of more focus due to COVID. A lot of focus more on digital, right? And I'm actually not here to talk about the COVID, but yeah, I think the good news is we're right in the middle of exponential growth of digital capability adoption, right? So you, as you're here, right, there's a huge potential here and also a huge opportunity to jump in. But it's also imperative upon all of us, right, that we need to learn and continue to develop our skills in digital capabilities and understand how we can best apply stuff or better apply stuff, improve, like Heather explained. So take a look at that setup that you have with Salesforce, and is it still working, or where are the gaps, or and what particular level should you be connecting to your user group, right? So lots of stuff to learn, right? And even without COVID, it is definitely a shift that we all need to make. So reskilling towards more and better appliance of digital capabilities is something that is huge. Meanwhile, however, education has become way more expensive and not available to everyone. And there's obviously also the how do you say that, the gap between rich and poorness. But I think in general, one of the things that we see happening is it's becoming harder and harder for people to actually be able to get proper education. And well, I think we try to do something there with Trailhead, which I'm a bit proud of myself as well, by providing you the ability to learn for free and have access to Salesforce, but also other resources along with it. All right. Just one step back in history, where this all got started. We started the Salesforce back in 1999 with thinking, hey, why can't enterprise software be as easy as buying a book on Amazon, right? Which is actually quite brand new at that time. Starting Trailhead was with the thought, hey, can we actually reimagine the way people learn, make it probably a bit more fun, but more engaging, but definitely that aspect of making it accessible to everyone, right? And not to a specific group, like partner employees only, or maybe internal employees at Salesforce, right? One highlight here, and you'll get the slides with the link, and otherwise I'll take the links out of there and share them separately. But in the last Trailhead News episode, there was actually a quite fun, little video element there, talking a bit more about the technical history of Trailhead and how it all got started with an Heroku instance that actually did some tests with stuff that you were able to implement, and was aligned with a Trailhead or a Salesforce evangelist presentation that was on at Dreamforce, obviously. So then I think a spin-off from that idea eventually became Trailhead as we know it today. But it might be worthwhile or just fun to actually see how it all got started. All right. So next to all the things, the stuff that's happening around us, right? Also the way we learn, and Ada was actually talking about that as well, right? Next to how you pick up information, right? I think how you learn and how you would like to learn is also different from one person to another. So we shifted to online, especially now, obviously, right? But still also mobile. Gamification was added, making it a bit more fun and engaging for people, but also allowing to basically weave into our lives, right? Allowing us to actually take bite-sized learning. And obviously, putting, like we do with the customer, right? Putting the learner in the center of learning experience rather than taking it from, okay, what needs to be learned and what are the goals that we have. And obviously, you'd like to have it personalized, more or less focused on your role, on the specific needs that you have. Okay, so 3 things that Trailhead tries to do. It tries to help you in your learning journey, right? By providing you the modules and projects to be able to learn and do that on demand, but also obviously, we provide a classroom and even virtual classroom trainings these days. Eventually, allowing you to earn the credentials that more or less prove the combination of what you've been able to learn and what you've been able to experience in the field by actually implementing stuff, right? And one of that's obviously the certifications in core, but it's also about the modules that are out there and super badges that are provided. And lastly, it's about connecting, being able to connect to people that maybe work on the same are on the same learning journey or work with the same stuff that you are working with, and connecting and learning from each other, which is especially if you're talking about coaching and mentorship, a key thing. we provide a bit of a platform there, and obviously it goes way beyond the platform, but at least allowing you to connect and get an easier way into the group of people that are like-minded or might be working on the same and learning on the same subject. That's what Trailhead tries to do as well. So these three things, and obviously, like with the growth of Salesforce, also the growth of Trailhead has been tremendous over the past year. So let's go through all these three areas a bit. So first of all, the learn area. Obviously, I already talked about what is there, right? So focus is on, hey, what is key and crucial at the moment? So you'll see even modules evolving over the years, right? Maybe units get added to modules, new modules get added, and we even started thinking about deprecating certain modules. So always looking at, okay, what is in demand at the moment and what is coming up in the near future, right? So you can be prepared of what's coming. On demand, we talked about that, right? So you are the one deciding, this is what I'll learn now in your own pace, right? But also the ability to utilize the expertise and experience that experts out there have in the live classes and workshops, and we'll get to that a bit later on as well, in a new way through Trailhead Live. One thing I wanted to highlight here as well is in the area of expert-led courses is the upcoming Trailhead Virtual Bootcamp. And I'm not sure whether any of you joined last year's Barcelona Trailhead Bootcamp. I think it was a tremendous thing. We started Trailhead Bootcamp as part of TrailDX 2019. And then basically had to reinvent it this year. So now there's Trailhead Virtual Bootcamp. The link here will get you to a blog that explains you everything on what it is about and which particular certifications are supported there or are on the program to get you prepared for the actual certification exam. And obviously, you know about the private workshops that we are able to provide, and then the normal expert-led classes that we have. And even once you get there, right, Heather was already talking about that the adoption of your Salesforce implementation is a key thing. The moment that you're ready with your implementation, Trailhead might also be supporting you. I think the bare minimum by sharing the basic modules, right? How do you use reports? How do you do opportunity management? How do you create cases? But even specific end user training, they could support you in as well. All right. So then in the same go, I was talking about Trailhead Live, right? Already mentioned that video about the start of Trailhead, also available at Trailhead Live. I think this is rather new. I'm not sure whether you already explored it. Trailhead Live actually was introduced because of a high demand from learners in bringing back those videos that we had in help and training. You must have, well, the people that have been there here along, I think for 5, 6, maybe 10, 12 years, you must know these trainings that actually prepare you for admin and advanced admin. Yeah, Andre, I know you know him, right? So these trainings would actually help you get through by presenting and the voiceover talking about the subject and you being able to do the some hands-on exercises as well. So basically on-demand training. That's not maintained anymore, and meanwhile also deprecated, so those videos are not there anymore. However, what came in place is now what's called Trailhead Live. it's not exactly the same, but if you look at Trailhead Live, you'll find videos that talk about specific elements for preparing for the admin certification, for instance. So an expert talks about, I don't know, permission sets and how you set those up, how you set up sharing and visibility in general, or data modeling. So all the stuff that you eventually need to be able to prepare, not in this case, not as a module that you need to read through, which can be daunting for if you're not that type of learner, right? But actually in the format of an expert explaining it to you. And another one that's actually part of Trailhead Live is Trailhead News, which is a monthly video blog that is created by Megan Peterson. If you haven't seen her around, you probably, well, she is, I guess, the most vocal person in the Trailhead marketing team. And she's doing these Trailhead News sessions, explaining all the new stuff that's out there on Trailhead and stuff around it, like the history of Trailhead. So encourage you to have a look. And then Trailhead Go. Obviously, those people that are on Apple devices have been able to take advantage of the Trailhead Go mobile application for it feels like ages. I think it's about a year now. Now it's also available for Android. So hit that short. Right, cool. So it's still in beta, but I think you should be able to download it through that link that I put in here, right? So if you go to that short link, Trailhead Go, Go Android, you'll get to the Play Store. Google said, sorry, I'm an Apple guy, sorry. And then you'll be able to install it there and be part of the public beta. And please provide your feedback, right, to the team about what's working, but also what's not working, right? All right. So so a bit of how do you apply this in practice. So I'm continuing that journey that Heather started, right? So next to learning yourself, right, in getting your implementation adopted, right, or maybe skilling up your team for a certain new area. Lightning is an example when it came across. But, well, you can think of new capability area that you're starting, maybe omni-channel, or maybe you're starting, I don't know, knowledge management and rolling that out. Trailhead can support there. And I'd like to share a bit of a story of what I did at my previous customer. Basically, what we did is they started on their journey migrating to Lightning experience. So that meant part of their Salesforce team was actually focused on making that happen, that migration happen. So they were really in depth on Lightning experience, and they got all the training and those kind of things. However, while they were progressing with the migration, also the rest of the team that was not working on it had to be educated and get a bit of experience and at least learn what it meant, Lightning experience, and how do you do customizations then, and what changes in the UI and what can you take advantage of, right, in the stuff that you implement. So we decided let's start with a trail mix and select which particular modules and trails would be really beneficial for them. So that's what we did. And we started a competition. So competition within the team, especially the people that weren't exposed to Lightning experience that much. And they could, on a weekly basis, would receive an email with that week's module. Sometimes we were actually pushing them a bit and giving them more modules to do. And we installed Trail Tracker on their organization. So basically, we were able to track how well they were doing and progressing with their badges. If you don't know Trail Tracker, it's out there on the App Exchange. You can install it in your org, in your production org. Let people log into Trailhead with their your own org's credentials, and they'll be able to, or you'll be able to get an overview of the badges they've been earning and the points not the points, the badges they've been earning and going through. So yeah, we created a competition, and eventually I was able to arrange some swag. Paid for it myself. Obviously, we have the Trailhead store, right? So you'd be able to arrange some swag, but talk to an account executive. I don't know. You might be able to brag for some stuff, right? So basically, at the end, we had 4 winners, and there was plushies, as you can see, and a Dreamforce bag, and a Trailblazer hoodie for the top 4 out of the competition. I think 2 wins. One was getting them all excited and engaged about Lightning Experience. Obviously, it really got them started on Trailhead as well. So they continued the learning journey, even if they didn't do that before. And obviously, we enabled them with knowledge and a bit of experience in Lightning Experience. Eventually, this led to people actually getting so excited that they opted for their admin certification. And they even got as far that they convinced their team lead to send them over to Barcelona. So I think they went with 10 or 11 people to the Trailhead Bootcamp last year in Barcelona. So it can be a bit too exciting as well, right? So and people can get a bit, how do you say that, too excited and urging for more badges and more certifications. But I think it is a nice tool that you can leverage yourself with just small means and utilizing Trailhead. All right. So let's continue with that. Earning, obviously, badges, they are really contagious, and you want to keep on learning them, right? One thing I do want to highlight here is what I hear a lot is, hey, yeah, everyone can do certifications, and there's actually a lot of discussion about that as well. If you just download a certification exam dump and learn that by heart, you'll be able to pass it, right? So probably something that we tested it out first with the BDP, so the Platform Developer 2 exam. It's now also part of the JavaScript exam. That on top of the exam that you need to do, the multiple choice exam, you also need to, or you actually, before you actually are allowed to do that, you need to do a super patch, including the modules that lead up to it. So by that, obviously, it's not watertight at all, but what we try to do is we try to combine experience, right, hands-on experience, with an actual proof by providing a certification through an exam at the end. And in that sense, making it, maybe a bit more valuable, or at least showcase not only that you're able to answer 60 multiple choice exams or questions, but you're actually able to do some stuff hands-on as well, right? Okay, and I think, well, if you don't know it yet, if you head over to this credentials area in Salesforce and in Trailhead, and then go for certifications, there is a role-by-role overview of how you can prepare, also which certifications are actually available to you in that particular role. And if you click through, right, you'll also find trail mixes and anything that will help you get set up and prepared, including the classes that I was referring to get set up for the final exams. Also, for each and every role, and I think they get they'll get a refresh quite soon. Um, per role, you see a description of what that role really entails, and also could be a means of looking at, hey, how can I progress my career maybe in a different role that is, I don't know, maybe it could be just a horizontal shift, right? But it could also be a jump to something else. Maybe you started off as a developer and you want to advance towards architect. So what do you then need to, or could you then do in terms of learning through Trailhead and beyond, right? All right. Then, well, no need to tell you, you can get hands-on, yes, and Trailhead Playgrounds utilize as much as you want. So what happened as well, and probably you are aware, Trailblazer.me is out there, basically next to your LinkedIn profile, which you are able to link to it as well. This is a means of showcasing basically your portfolio of what you know and what you do, how you contribute to the community in a single place. So you can see it as your dashboard, and this is really going to evolve over the next couple of years. Including, and I'm not sure when that's coming, but and if it's coming, but one of the things you may have seen happening is how your Trailblazer.me account is now integrated into the help and training site. One of the things that our support organization is actually looking at is, could we actually provide you more personalized support based on the fact that you actually showcase that you have expertise and knowledge in certain areas. So if you're posting a case to support, and you actually show that you have been doing badges on Trailhead and maybe are certified in that particular area, then you're more likely to jump some of the levels in customer support. Because probably you know a bit better what you're talking about, and well, basically that first question, did you already check this? Which steps did you go through, right? No need to ask those, or basically go through those again. So that's a means of actively using it, well, to your support. So that is coming. I don't know when exactly, but I think Trailblazer.me profile is great for showcasing it, but also leveraging like that. All right, and then lastly, connecting. So I already talked about connecting, right, to each other. I think a couple of the things, Trailblazer community. If you are on the track for the architect pyramid, right, in developing your skills as, in the designer areas, know that there is a Trailblazer community specific for that. There's an architect Trailblazer community chatter group on the Trailblazer community. It's out there. There's tons. Well, Sergey, you're here. You can probably answer that better than me, right? But there's a ton of stuff out there, and also engagement going on between the people that are on that track. Use it and abuse it, I would recommend, right? Because it's really a place to share, and for instance, go for, if you're in that final stage for the CTA review board, look at the example scenarios that are out there, and well, test how well you would be able to do that. All right, then obviously the ability, I'll talk a bit more about that, connected to other Trailblazers network, and maybe find your next dream job in the Ohana, right? It's a huge opportunity there. Be a multiplier is a quite recent program to be able to, well, basically apply your skills by giving it back to others that might be in need of it. Could be in terms of mentoring or running in a Trailhead in a Box event. And there's lots of support out there on Trailhead as well for it. And lastly, I wanted to highlight this new initiative, which is the Trailblazer Innovate initiative. Go ahead and have a look. I think it's our people from our organization, so product management, professional services, people like me, as well as Trailblazers out there like you, that actually come together and showcase great innovation that they've been able to do with Salesforce technology. Not only that, also how you approach innovation and how do you organize innovation within your company is also one of the topics they'll go through. All right. Well, no need to talk about this, right? It's all over the place. And here's the link, by the way, to that architect Trailblazer community that I was talking about. You'll get it later on as well. Here you find a bit more about that Be a Multiplier program that I was talking about and how you can give back to the community. And lastly, well, I think we started off with Heather talk about coaching and mentorship. Actually, I think they're two distinct things, and that's also what you highlighted a bit, Heather. Recently we introduced a Trailblazer Mentorship. So if you have the experience and want to give back in that sense, you are able to register as a Trailblazer mentor through the Trailblazer Connect program, and people can find mentors to help you advance your career, either with or outside, with the support of Trailhead or outside resources. Yeah, basically based on what is helpful in your particular situation. All right. Well, that's a huge amount of information, and I hope it was brief enough. I think there were a couple of questions as well, right, along the way, or at least remarks. So let's put some room for there.
We have one question here. Will Trailhead be open up for the third parties that develop apps for the Force.com platform in the future?
Right. So let me understand that question correctly. So you mean like an app exchange for Trailhead? So being able to develop trainings that eventually will be provided through Trailhead? Is that the question?
Yes, please confirm if that was your question. I'm sorry, I'm just reading from Chatter.
Right.
Yes, can you unmute yourself and or write if you don't want to talk?
Right. No, yeah, I think I know what you mean, Jos. So I think, all right, go ahead.
No, I think that's yours. Just yeah.
Right. So I think what you mean is being able to leverage Trailhead to provide support with apps that are developed by Force.com partners. I wouldn't know whether that's in the roadmap, but I think so. Our ID exchange also applies for Trailhead, right? So if it's not there, I would encourage you to actually put it out there, right? And probably with a bit further description. But I think, given what we do with My Trailhead, I think it's actually, well, it would be the obvious, or one of the obvious next steps, right? To open it up for partners as well. Yeah.
And Jos was mentioning that yeah, he has difficulties with his audio. Sergey
Right.
also noticed that he mentioned that he saw Copado contributed to some badges.
Correct.
So I believe if your company is unique enough for a specific subject, it may happen.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so we did the same for with AWS, and also and the Alexa, allowing to link Alexa to your Salesforce instance and how to integrate there. So there is partner stuff already out there, but I think it's fair enough that there might be room for expanding that. Yeah, Rob. So great. Yeah. So good to hear that the mentorship program actually works well for you.
Yeah. And it's also for newbies mentorship, but Trailhead, I think that is for every single person on every stage for every certification and learning moment.
Yeah, Trailhead for kids. Well, that's actually a good one, Sergey. I know this is so. Trailhead is also utilized for Coda Dojo type of sessions. So we've been doing sessions where kids actually work with Trailhead, and actually my kids. I haven't exposed them too much because I don't want to get them addicted, obviously, right? But they've also made their first steps on the Trailhead. So yeah, but there's room for expansion there as well. That's what you say, probably, right?
Thank you so much, Arjan.